In the vibrant village of Umudike, nestled among lush green hills and ancient baobab trees, lived two friends whose bond was as strong as the roots that anchored their land. Eze and Chima were inseparable, their friendship celebrated by all who knew them. But when a beautiful new arrival named Mercy caught their eyes, their unbreakable bond faced a test like never before. This is a tale of friendship, love, and the dangerous allure of deceit, where true loyalty is put to the ultimate test. Eze and Chima, two young men who had grown up together, shared a friendship that was as deep as the roots of the ancient baobab tree that stood in the center of their village. Their friendship was legendary, built on years of shared experiences, mutual respect, and unwavering loyalty. Eze was a striking figure, tall and muscular, with a kind face that reflected his gentle nature. His eyes, a warm brown, were always filled with a spark of curiosity and kindness. Eze was known for his strength and bravery. Whenever there was a challenge, be it a wild animal threatening the village or a heavy load that needed lifting, Eze was always the first to step forward. Chima, on the other hand, was slightly shorter but no less impressive. He had a lean build, quick reflexes, and an agile mind. Chima's eyes were deep, thoughtful black, often twinkling with mischief and intelligence. He was the problem solver, the one who could think on his feet and come up with solutions that others would never have considered. Together, Eze and Chima made a formidable pair, balancing each other perfectly. Their friendship had started in childhood. They had met at the village stream, where all the children gathered to play and fetch water. They spent their days working together in the fields, helping their families with the harvest. They hunted together in the dense forest that surrounded their village, learning to move silently and track game with the skill of seasoned hunters. In the evenings, they would sit by the fire, sharing stories and dreams about the future. The villagers often marveled at their friendship. Eze and Chima, they would say, are like the two halves of a whole. Where one goes, the other follows. It was a friendship that everyone in Umudike respected and looked up to. The elders would often use their bond as an example when teaching the younger generation about the values of loyalty, trust, and mutual respect. One bright, sunny afternoon, everything began to change. As Eze and Chima were walking through the village, they noticed a new face among the familiar ones. It was a girl named Mercy, who had recently moved to Umudike with her family. Mercy was breathtakingly beautiful, with eyes that sparkled like the stars and a smile that could warm even the coldest heart. Her presence in the village was like a breath of fresh air, and it wasn't long before both Eze and Chima found themselves drawn to her. Mercy was friendly and kind, and she quickly became a beloved member of the community. She had a way of making everyone feel special, and her laughter was like music that brought joy to those around her. Eze and Chima, however, felt something deeper. They were captivated by her beauty and charm, and without realizing it, both friends began to fall in love with her. Despite their growing feelings for Mercy, Eze and Chima's friendship remained strong. They continued to spend their days together, sharing their thoughts and feelings. But deep down, both knew that their affection for Mercy could become a source of tension. They were determined to handle their emotions carefully, not wanting anything to come between their cherished bond. Little did they know that this newfound affection would soon put their friendship to the ultimate test. As the days turned into weeks, Eze and Chima found themselves increasingly drawn to Mercy. Her presence in Umudike was like a fresh breeze, and her beauty captivated the hearts of many, but none as deeply as Eze and Chima. Every time she walked through the village, her radiant smile and kind words left a lasting impression on everyone she met. Eze, with his broad shoulders and kind demeanor, was always looking for ways to be close to Mercy. He would help her carry heavy water pots from the stream, ensuring she didn't have to struggle with the weight. His actions were always accompanied by a shy smile and a few kind words, which Mercy received with genuine gratitude. Chima, on the other hand, used his wit and charm to win Mercy's attention. He would tell her stories that made her laugh and think, sharing the wisdom he had gained from listening to the elders and his own imaginative tales. Chima's quick mind and clever jokes made Mercy smile, and she enjoyed the moments they spent talking and laughing together. One sunny afternoon, Eze and Chima decided to visit Mercy's home. They had picked the finest fruits from their family orchards and brought them as gifts. As they approached her house, they could hear her melodious voice singing a traditional song, adding to the warmth of the afternoon sun. Eze, do you think she'll like these mangoes? Chima asked, a hint of nervousness in his voice. Of course, Chima. And I'm sure she'll appreciate the oranges you brought as well. Let's go in, Eze replied, trying to hide his own nervousness. Mercy welcomed them with open arms, her eyes lighting up at the sight of the fresh fruits. Thank you so much, Eze, Chima. These are wonderful, she exclaimed, her smile brighter than ever. They spent the afternoon under the shade of a large mango tree in Mercy's yard. Eze and Chima took turns entertaining Mercy, telling stories, and sharing their dreams. Mercy listened attentively, her laughter ringing out like music. She enjoyed the company of the two friends, appreciating their different qualities and the unique bond they shared. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, Eze decided to speak up. Mercy, I wanted to tell you something. Since the day you arrived in Umudike, my days have been brighter. I have come to care for you deeply, he confessed, his voice steady but his heart pounding. Chima, hearing Eze's confession, felt a pang of worry. But he knew he had to be honest as well. Mercy, I feel the same. You have brought so much joy into our lives, and I too have fallen for you, he admitted, his voice soft but sincere. Mercy looked at both of them, her expression thoughtful. She hadn't anticipated this, and it put her in a difficult position. She valued the friendship of Eze and Chima and didn't want to come between them. Eze, Chima, I am touched by your words. You both mean a lot to me, and I cherish the time we spend together, she said, trying to navigate her feelings delicately. Despite Mercy's gentle response, the seed of rivalry had been planted. Eze and Chima, though still close friends, began to feel the strain of their mutual affection for Mercy. They tried to maintain their camaraderie, but there was an unspoken tension between them. They continued to help Mercy, bringing her gifts and spending time with her, but now there was an underlying competition in their actions. The villagers began to notice the subtle change in Eze and Chima's relationship. The once inseparable duo now seemed to be vying for Mercy's attention. The elders watched with concern, understanding that this new dynamic could potentially harm the strong bond between the two friends. Mercy, caught in the middle, enjoyed the attention but also felt the growing tension. She appreciated Eze's strength and kindness, as well as Chima's wit and charm. However, she didn't realize the full extent of the rivalry that was brewing between them. She continued to enjoy their company, unaware of the heartache and conflict that lay ahead. The peaceful days in Umudike were slowly giving way to a brewing storm, as Eze and Chima's growing affection for Mercy began to test the limits of their friendship. As time went on, Mercy began to notice the increasing tension between Eze and Chima. She enjoyed the attention and the gifts they lavished upon her, but she also realized that their growing rivalry could be used to her advantage. Mercy was not inherently malicious, but she loved the power she held over the two friends and was curious to see how far she could push them. One evening, as she sat by her window, watching the moonlight dance on the village rooftops, Mercy decided to visit the village healer, Mama Nwondo. Mama Nwondo was known for her potions and herbs, and many villagers sought her help for various ailments and desires. The next morning, Mercy made her way to Mama Nwondo's hut, a small, thatched roof structure at the edge of the village. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of dried herbs and the flickering light of candles. Mama Nwondo, an elderly woman with a wisdom that seemed to emanate from her very being, greeted Mercy with a knowing smile. "What brings you here, child?" Mama Nwondo asked, her eyes twinkling with curiosity. Mercy hesitated for a moment before speaking. "Mama Nwondo, I need a potion that will make two people fall deeply in love with me and create discord between them." Mama Nwondo raised an eyebrow. "That is a dangerous request, Mercy. Potions that tamper with the heart can lead to unintended consequences." "I understand, Mama Nwondo, but I am willing to take that risk," Mercy replied, her determination unwavering. After a moment of contemplation, Mama Nwondo nodded. "Very well. But remember, Mercy, magic should not be used lightly. The heart is a delicate thing." With that, Mama Nwondo mixed various herbs and whispered incantations into a small vial. She handed the vial to Mercy, who took it with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "Use this wisely," Mama Nwondo warned. "A few drops in their drink will be enough." Mercy thanked her and left the hut, clutching the vial tightly in her hand. That evening, she invited Eze and Chima to her home for a small celebration. She prepared a feast, making sure to include their favorite dishes. As they arrived, both friends were delighted and eager to spend time with her. During the meal, Mercy discreetly added a few drops of the potion to their drinks. She watched as they sipped, the potion taking effect almost immediately. Eze and Chima's eyes seemed to shine with an unnatural intensity, and their conversations became more heated and competitive. "Mercy, you must try this mango. I picked it especially for you," he said, his voice filled with pride. Chima quickly interjected, "And these oranges, Mercy. They are the sweetest in the village, and I brought them just for you." Mercy smiled, enjoying the attention and the subtle conflict brewing between them. Over the next few days, the effects of the potion became more pronounced. Eze and Chima, once inseparable, now found themselves constantly at odds, each trying to outdo the other to win Mercy's favor. One afternoon, as they helped Mercy gather firewood, Eze and Chima's rivalry reached a boiling point. Eze accused Chima of stealing his ideas for a gift, and Chima retaliated by questioning Eze's sincerity. "You only brought those flowers because I mentioned them first," Eze shouted, his face red with anger. Chima shot back, "And you only helped her with the water because I was going to do it." Mercy watched with a mix of amusement and guilt as the two friends argued. She had not anticipated the depth of their rivalry or the strain it would put on their friendship. While she enjoyed the attention, she couldn't ignore the growing discord she had caused. As the days turned into weeks, Eze and Chima's once strong bond continued to fray. The villagers noticed the change and whispered among themselves, wondering what had come between the two friends. The elders, too, grew concerned, knowing that such a deep rift could have lasting consequences for the village. Despite the tension, Mercy continued to enjoy the benefits of her scheme. She received more gifts and attention than ever before, but the joy was tinged with a growing sense of unease. She had set a dangerous game in motion, and she began to wonder how long it could continue before something irreversible happened. The peaceful village of Umudike was slowly being overshadowed by the conflict between Eze and Chima, and Mercy's scheme was at the heart of it all. The true test of their friendship was yet to come, and the consequences of her actions would soon unfold in ways she had not anticipated. As the days passed, the rivalry between Eze and Chima grew more intense. Their arguments became more frequent and heated, much to the dismay of the villagers who had always admired their strong bond. The elders of Umudike watched with heavy hearts, knowing that something had to be done to restore peace between the two friends. One evening, after another heated confrontation between Eze and Chima, Eze's younger sister, Ada, noticed the sadness in her brother's eyes. Ada was a perceptive young girl, wise beyond her years, and she couldn't stand to see the pain in her brother's heart. "Eze, can we talk?" Ada asked softly, sitting down beside him under the old baobab tree. Eze sighed and nodded, grateful for his sister's company. "Of course, Ada. What is it? I've noticed how you and Chima have been fighting lately. It's not like you two at all. What happened?" Ada inquired, her eyes filled with concern. Eze hesitated, not wanting to burden his sister with his troubles. But Ada's persistent gaze convinced him to open up. "It's Mercy. Chima and I both care for her deeply, and it's tearing us apart." Ada listened intently, her brow furrowing as she processed her brother's words. "Eze, have you ever considered that there might be something else at play here? This doesn't sound like you or Chima." Eze frowned, thinking over Ada's words. "What do you mean, Ada?" Ada took a deep breath and shared what she had witnessed a few weeks ago. "I saw Mercy visiting Mama Nwando's hut. She seemed very secretive about it. I overheard them talking about a potion." Eze's eyes widened in shock. "A potion? What kind of potion?" "I don't know all the details, but I think it's worth investigating," Ada suggested, her voice firm. Determined to uncover the truth, Eze decided to speak with Chima. He found his friend sitting by the river, skipping stones across the water, his face etched with frustration and sadness. "Chima, we need to talk," he said, approaching him cautiously. Chima looked up, his expression wary. "What is it, Eze?" He sat down beside him, taking a deep breath. "I think something is going on that we don't understand." Ada saw Mercy visiting Mama Nwando for a potion. "We need to find out what she did." Chima's eyes widened in surprise, then narrowed in suspicion. "A potion? Do you really think Mercy would do something like that?" "I don't know, Chima. But we need to find out. Our friendship is worth more than this rivalry," he said earnestly. Reluctantly, Chima agreed. Together, they decided to visit Mama Nwando and seek the truth. The next morning, they made their way to her hut, hoping for answers. As they entered the small, dimly lit space, Mama Nwando looked up from her walk and greeted them with a nod. "Eze, Chima, what brings you here?" "We need to know about the potion you gave Mercy," he said, his voice steady despite the tension in the air. Mama Nwando sighed, realizing the gravity of the situation. "I gave her a love potion, but I did not intend for it to be used for harm. She asked for something to make two people fall in love with her and create discord between them. Eze and Chima exchanged horrified glances, the truth sinking in. They had been manipulated by Mercy's scheme, their true feelings distorted by the magic potion. "Thank you, Mama Nwondo," Chima said, his voice trembling with a mix of anger and relief. With the truth in hand, Eze and Chima left the hut, their hearts heavy with the realization of Mercy's betrayal. They knew they needed to confront her and put an end to the rivalry that had torn their friendship apart. That evening, they found Mercy sitting by the village well, her face illuminated by the soft glow of the setting sun. She looked up as they approached, a mixture of surprise and apprehension in her eyes. "Eze, Chima, what brings you here?" she asked, trying to maintain her usual charm. "We know about the potion, Mercy," he said bluntly, his voice filled with hurt and anger. Mercy's eyes widened in shock, and she took a step back. "What are you talking about?" "Don't play innocent, Mercy. We spoke to Mama Nwondo. We know you used the potion to make us fall in love with you and turn against each other," Chima added, his voice cold. Mercy's face paled, and she stammered, I didn't mean for it to go this far. I just wanted to feel special, to have both of you care for me." "At what cost, Mercy? You almost destroyed our friendship," he said, his voice filled with pain. Realizing the gravity of her actions, Mercy lowered her head, tears streaming down her face. "I'm so sorry. I never wanted to hurt you." Eze and Chima exchanged a look, their bonds slowly mending as they faced Mercy's betrayal together. They knew they had to take this matter to the village elders and seek justice for the wrong that had been done. With heavy hearts, they turned and walked towards the elders' hut, ready to reveal the truth and restore peace to their friendship and their village. The village square was abuzz with activity as the evening approached. Word had spread that Eze and Chima had something important to discuss with the elders, and curiosity had drawn the villagers together. The elders, wise and respected figures in Umudike, sat in a semicircle on wooden stools, their faces serious as they awaited the arrival of Eze, Chima, and Mercy. Eze and Chima walked side by side, their expressions determined. Mercy trailed behind them, her heart heavy with guilt and fear. She knew she had wronged the two friends and the entire village, and the moment of reckoning had come. As they reached the center of the square, Eze raised his hand to call for silence. The murmurs of the crowd faded, and all eyes turned to the trio. "Esteemed elders," Eze began, his voice clear and steady. "We have come before you today to reveal a great wrong that has been done. Mercy, whom we once cherished as a friend, has used the potion to manipulate our feelings and turn us against each other." Gasps of shock rippled through the crowd. The elders exchanged concerned glances, and the chief elder, an old man with a long white beard, spoke up. "Is this true, Mercy? Have you used magic to deceive and divide these friends?" Mercy stepped forward, her hands trembling. "Yes, it is true. I sought a potion from Mama Nwondo to make Eze and Chima fall in love with me and create discord between them. I did not foresee the extent of the harm it would cause." The chief elder's eyes narrowed. "Why would you do such a thing, Mercy? What did you hope to gain from this deceit?" Mercy lowered her head, tears streaming down her face. "I was selfish. I enjoyed the attention and the gifts. I wanted to feel special, to be loved by both of them. But I did not realize the true cost of my actions." The elders conferred among themselves, their faces grave. After a few moments, the chief elder stood and addressed the crowd. Mercy's actions have caused great harm to Eze and Chima, and by extension, to our entire village. The bond of friendship is sacred and should never be tampered with for personal gain. He turned to Mercy, his expression stern. Mercy, your actions have broken the trust of this community. For this, you must face the consequences. Mercy nodded, accepting her fate. I understand. I am truly sorry for what I have done. The chief elder continued, as punishment, Mercy, you are to be banished from Umudike. You will leave this village and not return. Let this serve as a lesson to all about the importance of honesty, respect, and the sanctity of true friendship. Tears flowed freely down Mercy's cheeks as she bowed her head in acceptance. The villagers watched in silence, the weight of the decision settling over them. Eze and Chima stood together, their bond stronger than ever despite the turmoil they had endured. The next morning, Mercy packed her belongings and prepared to leave the village. Eze and Chima, though still hurt by her actions, approached her one last time. Mercy, Eze said softly, we hope you find a way to make amends for what you have done. Learn from this and become a better person. Chima nodded in agreement. We wish you no harm, but this is necessary for the peace of our village. Mercy looked at them, her eyes filled with regret. Thank you, Eze, Chima. I am deeply sorry for the pain I have caused. I will carry this lesson with me always. With that, Mercy turned and walked away from Umudike, leaving behind the village and the friends she had wronged. The villagers watched her go, a sense of solemnity in the air. As the days passed, Eze and Chima worked to rebuild their friendship. They spent time together, sharing stories and laughter, just as they had before Mercy's arrival. The villagers, relieved to see their bond restored, embraced them once again as symbols of true friendship. One evening, under the old baobab tree, Eze and Chima sat together, reflecting on the events that had transpired. We've been through a lot, Chima, Eze said, his voice filled with gratitude. But our friendship has endured. Chima smiled, his eyes twinkling with relief. Yes, Eze. Nothing can break the bond we share. We have learned a valuable lesson, and we will be stronger for it. And so, peace returned to Umudike. The story of Eze and Chima's unbreakable friendship became a cherished tale, reminding everyone of the importance of trust, loyalty, and the true meaning of love. In the end, Umudike learned a powerful lesson about the strength of true friendship and the dangers of deceit. Eze and Chima's unbreakable bond, tested and proven, became a cherished story of honesty and loyalty. Peace returned to the village, stronger than ever. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to our channel for more tales of wisdom and wonder from the heart of Africa.